very fast. If their lanes don't go well for them, Quincy Crew is just going to run them over. And they're not going to have a chance to get back in the game. SVG is just going to do too good of a job at healing at the towers and keeping the enemy off their side of the map. But let's go. Game number 14 for Quincy Crew. Can they go undefeated, or can the number 2 spot here at Beast Coast take a game off of them?
Is it possible? We'll have to see. We will have to see. I don't know, man. If I call that drought, I think I'm going to have to be like all in on Quincy Crew going 2-0. I think I have to, right?
You got it, yeah. You got to go all in on Quincy.
I'm just glad it's not a mid-tiny. I'll tell you that much.
You know, as much as I'm talking up Quincy Crew right now and I think they're great, I really want to see them lose. You know, it's not that, like, I hate anyone on the team or I hate them as a team. I just like seeing good teams lose Dota. So I'm laughing to myself when OG gets absolutely bodied by Secret. I'm laughing when Secret gets bodied at TI.
At least they're not getting bodied like Virtus Pro at TI.
That's true. That is true. And then they decide that, oh yeah, our roster isn't good enough even though we're winning every other event. That is crazy. Those Virtus Pro boys. They move down here in the bottom lane. Looks like they want to sit pretty far back into these trees with Yuar and SVG. You're pretty low movement speed here on the Treant, and of course, you do have some serious kill potential with Tiny, with Whisper if they've got like a Enchant with them. But Enchant's on the other side of the map. Just like hasn't been to any of his abilities yet, but he's probably just going to go Empower again, get that huge base damage. You're going to out-CS Quinn. That's just facts. But, of course, you're not going to have that kill potential, even with that Shockwave Skewer combo. So, in the top, you don't have that good... You can't really run these runes here either. MSS and Lelis aren't very strong at the start, and you don't want to go through any of your mana before the laning phase starts on these Necropos.
You just did with the Death Pulse.
One is fine, you know. You'll heal up a good chunk. And, oh my
Whisper! Get my kill on SVG. SVG feels like the first game of the day with him, where he's just not allowed to do anything.
I tried to tell him. I said your movement speed's low. You can't go to the rune. SVG obviously not listening in on the comms, so we know that they're 13-0 so far isn't because they're cheating.
So let's see how Quinn does against Chris Huck. Quinn's been dominating like every lane he's had a matchup in, no matter what, even when the matchups don't seem that great for him.
Again, I think you'll out-CS the Invoker here. You have that Power Ball back on. 69 base damage, nice, plus 15. To Invoke is 55 plus 2. You have the Quelling Blade as well. So, we're taking some heavy harass. Clicks him down there. But again, you know, other than the Magnus getting the CS advantage, I don't imagine we'll see too much action here in the mid. We want to keep our eyes top, and we want to keep our eyes bottom. When Whisper does this to SVG, boom, hits him with the stun. It's got him under Diabolic Edict.
A lot of damage mid. You say not to look there. I looked.
Okay.
We got really close. Hector's not really getting that much health back, and whatever he just got off that time walk just got taken away with that Fable. So he'll back off with the salve knowing a Fable can't come his way. That's just not a good feeling, though.
I'm surprised that's happened. How did that happen? You know, at the first couple of levels, you know, Lelis is going to be able to spam this Death Pulse onto Hector. But, you know, Hector, as the lane goes on, he's just going to be able to time walk off all the harass. It's going to be a waste of mana to try and go on him. Bottom lane. They toss up Yuar, but, you know, they're like, okay, you want to run at my guy? I'll just run you down, shoot with you a couple Frost arrows, hit you with his Leech Seed. Fortunately, Schofield has boots and the others don't, so he's able to get away despite all those slows. Top lane Stinger's very low. He has to be careful with how close he gets to Lelis and MSS here. They do have Lift and Fade Bolt. If MSS was a little bit closer there, they could have just killed him.
Considering the fact that he has no regen, although he's getting a stack of tangos delivered. least he'll have that now. But it's not like that's the best for him. Like, he's using a clarity, trying to get tangos in, and he has to just kind of, like, hide in this situation. Cold snap on Chris Luck. Might be able to get the kill. Does he have anything to follow this up? He's already used the tornado, so can't follow that up. Chris Luck gets low, and besides the fact that he is 17-2, Quinn, I think, is keeping up and putting a lot of harassment on him. And if you look over at the net worth very quickly, it's actually the Magnus ahead, even though he hasn't shipped out much regen to himself. He actually
bottom
goes straight
lane
to the bottom. Ooh, they got the stun on Yawar. He's in some trouble. Right click's coming in, standing in the Nature's Grasp, trying to get a kill before he dies. Does so. Schofield, he doesn't have the mana for Avalanche or Toss, just trying to get some right clicks in. SVG comes over. He's got Nature's Grasp, and that means Schofield's dead.
Oh my god. Yawar, he's got no fear. He stands his ground. He fights the Leshrac under the creep wave. And he managed to get 2 kills there at the bottom lane. This is the lane that's supposed to go best for you. You're supposed to have this huge kill potential. Oh my god, I'm stuttering here. But Tiny tosses him back. He gets a stun off on Leshrac, but they both go down regardless.
Toss. Ooh, Yawar, Avalanche, and yeah, that time playing way too far forward with no health.
See nature's blasted core,
I don't know what you're doing there.
No, it's calculated. You come back to lane with full HP and mana, some extra items, your Bandit Elf Skin.
Ooh, Tornado, Cold Snap, Chrysalk in trouble. Pops the Illusion Rune. That's going to keep him alive. Quinn avoids the Shockwave. Runs away from these illusions. He'll be safe for now.
As he backs off, he gets every single CS, Quinn. But the lane now starting to go in Invoker's favor. You think he's just about to surpass the net worth of Magnus. He is 1 behind him right now. Magnus moves into the jungle and is forced out of lane. Actually, he's just grabbing the bounties. I take it back. Chris Luck God. CCNC. Nothing's going according to his plan.
Stinger dying.
Over in the river, he rotated trying to grab the enemy bounty rune. Unfortunately, sitting at no HP.
Again, Toss up on a Yawar. He's staying within the Nature's Grasp. He's playing this pretty well. It's just a question of not getting stunned, but he ends up getting hit there in the Nature's Grasp. Fairy Fire eaten. It will be a trade. Schofield working with enough mana for a Toss, so he should be able to kill SVG and keep his own life. And that was very close. Up towards top. K1 forced to time walk away. Immediately gets hit with a Fade Bolt. Time dilation comes out. No mana for the telekinesis at the moment, but finally gets the mana, lifts him up, slams him down, gets the kill.
Mid lane now. Chris Luck wants to go on Quinn here, but Quinn keeping his mana at 0 with his Tornado EMP combo, and he goes to try and contest the rune. He doesn't want Magnus getting it. He doesn't auto attack, instead he grabs the haste. So no bottling your mana back up, and Quinn. Still sitting a little bit behind Magnus. We thought this would happen, but I thought the last hits would be way further in favor of the Magnus with all the base damage he has. Quinn has done such an excellent job of keeping him harassed down. Things a little bit more even than last game, but I feel like you have a slight edge on every single lane on the side of Quincy crew.
Stinger. He's kind of wrapping around. He'll get a courier. Well, losing his courier. Meanwhile, 41-2 for Chris Luck over mid. Quinn coming around the side. He's got Tornado. He's got Cold Snap EMP in a second. With MSS helping, Fable just needs one more right click. They find him inside the trees. Quinn gets the kill. Chris Luck ends up falling. And like I said, Quinn's been taking over these matchups. You are over bottom. He dies to the Pulse Nova. SVG will too.
Things starting to go the way of BEASTCOAST out in this lane. I mean, you have to be I feel like you've overstayed your lane here. Now that he's got this, you can just run it here on the Drow Ranger. You don't have enough sustain at this point on the Treant Protect to be able to contest it. So I think they'll have to switch up the lanes pretty soon. We'll send Drow Ranger into the jungle. Until he's able to get a couple more levels.
Coming top. Hector just about to hit that level 6, and we'll have Chronosphere. But Chris Luck coming in top is very interesting. I mean, he's even in terms of levels against Lillis. The question is, does he do better here? Meanwhile, mid, Tornado comes through and finishes off Stinger.
You got to be careful who you pit up against Quinn here. I'm surprised they haven't done the same for UR. Just mix
They
up
have
what
Chrono. But telekinesis, Reaper Scythe down. Chris Luck, he's looking for the RP. MSS will help get the kill on a 1 and 2. Hector and Chris Luck die in this lane. That's horrible. That's hard for them.
Lelis with the quick draw there, interrupting the RP with the Reaper Scythe, and you know, by the time he's unstunned, it's just too late. He knows that they're going to die, doesn't end up committing it. They lose both those heroes up there. Amazing play there by Lelis. He's having the game of his life. I was talking about how they're not going to have a tanky frontliner on Quincy crew, but you know, the way this game is shaping up, Lelis is going to be invincible. 1,300 gold in the bank. He's got his mana boots, got a wand, he's got a bracer, sitting at the top of the net worth at almost 4k gold. And you know, the enemies have forced to rotate Whisper because of this.
Come over on the Lillis. At least they'll try. They've got the heal coming through from the Tree Protector. Avoids it. Nicely done by Lillis. Tornado comes in. That's not going to land on anybody, but Quinn is here. Whisper able to TP out. And it keeps Lillis alive, and I think that's fine.
Has been slain in cold blood.
That is fine. If Lola could turn that around on BEASTCOAST, that would be so bad for them. But like I said, UR was starting to have a pretty bad game. You've gotten 2 kills onto him, 3 kills onto him in the bottom lane, and he was forced to rotate top and didn't get anything from it. So you're loving this space down here for Drought Ranger. He no longer is forced to rotate. He heads into the jungle now, but you know, he's got the ward up here. He knows that Leshrac is back. It's time to exit into the jungle. Everything coming up Quincy.
Ooh, Stinger. That's a problem. Right click's coming in, tries to TP out, and will do so.
Under attack.
Damage fell, but you're losing your tier 1 bottom.
The dire scan on the hunt for radiant Forcians bottom.
To heal it back up, they've got 2 points in the living armor. They move Rubik down here as well, spamming out this creep wave with the Fade Bolt, you know, to test what Leshrac's going on. Rubik can seal the Diabolic Edict of the Pulse Nova. He's just as happy to run Leshrac down.
Coin for me.
You've got 2 points in the Frost Arrows. You don't have the most rundown potential. Again, you got Boots of Speed and the Null Talisman. Your high movement speed here, 410 now on the Leshrac. So even with all this slow coming out, he's still got a way to get out of there. Top lane. Quinn setup. You know Schofield's back here. Schofield, you're already dead. You can try to toss Lella's back on the Invoker, but, you know, at this point, no mana for a TP. Oh, you could pop the stick and do it, but I think if you try to TP, just get Reaper side. You go down. Mid lane. Now, they got the catapults. They tried to shove out the lane, but you don't want Chris Luck and Void in the same place. You can pass by each other. You can give him the Empower, speed up his farm, sure. You know, keep your cores in different areas of the map if you're not trying to take a team fight. And Quinn's hunting him, though. He wants to make his game harder. You know, he knows this is how BEASTCOAST likes to play. Like to split things up. They like to get Hector ahead on the net worth. He does miss him with a Tornado. He doesn't dispel that Empower, but
they've got the Gust. They have the right-click damage to get this kill with the EMP and the Telekinesis. Dominating for Quinn. They'll find Hector. They see right through this plan.
The Diaglyph is now active. Radiant's bottom
and you try to push bottom lane in the meantime. If you can get this, that's good. Can Quinn stop it? He's got no Tornado. The tower's just got a couple more HP. They run in it. He's going to die for this, but, you know, in all honesty, against a Tree Protector, I'd say it's worth it.
Is it worth it, though, when you're about to get Reaper Scythed if you're not too careful? Time Walk from MSS stays right on him, and there's the Reaper Scythe there for 45. I don't know if that's actually entirely worth it. Avalanche Toss will trade MSS. Quinn moving forward. Won't go on to Schofield or Stinger.
Mid lane.
Chrono used, but the Overgrowth came out. So this Chrono really doesn't do much of anything except allow Yawar potentially to get a kill on a Chris Luck. Now moves over, K1 right-clicking on a Yawar, trying to get these bashes as best he can, but Quinn rotating in, and now a right-click. Time Walk gets the invis. Yawar needs to be careful his positioning.
Yeah,
Quinn too.
I'd say he's fine. You know, we talked about that play that happened down there in the bottom lane. I would say that it's worth it. You know, Quincy crew, when they hold the map advantage, when they have all their towers up and they're able to freely teleport around, they play it so well. So anything you can grab, especially when they're playing this tree and protector, like they committed one of the heroes in the draft, having this map advantage, I'd say you commit super hard for that tower. So Whisper definitely making the correct play there and being the player that's keeping Quincy Crew, Beast Coast in this game. 5-3-2, contributed to almost every kill and doing a pretty good job of shutting down UR's game. I think it's just when he rotated top and was forced to play in this super powerful Lelis where his game started to slow down.
Quinn, hold snap, going in and looking for Hector. Good two-man stun, but MSS still has the Fade Bolt.
Heroes start to back off, but you've just taken down Hector twice in a row. It's 0-4-2. This guy's probably starting to tilt.
Yeah, it's very frustrating when the plan really isn't working out at all. And they're going to try and go for this. Telekinesis comes in. Schofield now gets stunned. RP out onto the Necro as well as the Invoker. Do they have the damage with the Pulse Nova? Overgrowth comes in. And now Leshrac in some trouble. Chris Luck taking a lot of damage. Reaper Sight comes through, finishes off the Magnus. They got the Kona Whisper. Time Dilation gets used. Quinn ends up dead. Down goes MSS. SVG right here in the Nature's Grass. Lelis doesn't have really much to help him. Right click, of course, the double bash comes through, and SVG, he dies as well. So 3 heroes dead, and UR backs away from this.
Time Dilation doing a lot of work in that team fight. Unfortunately, didn't get to use the mech on any of the allies on this Necrophos. You can't bring Lelis down. Got all of his teammates, and those kills, honestly, pretty big for Beast Coast. They need the XP. They need some levels in a way back in this game that will give them a little bit of breathing room. Sure, UR wasn't in this fight. He was pushing, but at least he didn't get any towers during that. That was a good fight for Beast Coast, but the amount of things that went right for them, I mean, they got like the 2-3-man RP into the skewer, back into the enemies. You almost got the split earth off onto everyone, and that's the best you could do.
And they get this kill. Spirit Vessel, K1 coming over, Chrono, Tornado hit, so now this Chrono feels a little bit late. They've got the Shockwave, K1's got to do whatever he can. The stun comes out on a Quinn. Quinn, skewered, now backing up, Pulse Nova there, Deafening Blast, hits onto the Faceless Void as well as the Magnus. They've got the Avalanche as well as the Toss, but it's not going to get a kill on anybody just yet. Quinn still trying to run. There's the Sun from Whisper, lands onto the Invoker. They get the kill there. They'll take out SVG. Lelis now backing off, goes forward, doesn't have Ghost Shroud, doesn't have a way to heal himself. Schofield dies to UR on the other side of this fight. They've got MSS moving forward, and he'll take out Stinger. But it's a triple kill for Whisper and a lot of gold going the way of Beast Coast.
UR shows up, he throws out the multi-shot, but he's a little bit too late. And I'd say the biggest thing that's causing Quincy Crew to lose these fights here is, in fact, this time dilation from K1. He's not getting off that many death pulses. I mean, it being only level 1 is stopping probably like 2 death pulses to fight. And you say, okay, yeah, so what? It's this low cooldown ability, but, it's going to hit everyone for 250. It's going to heal him for 120. It is making actually such a big difference when he can't use this spell. So he needs these Guardian Greaves as quickly as possible to be able to purge off that time dilation. Beast Coast finding a way back into this game.
They're about even so far. Lelis does lead the net worth.
Mine at last.
He's going for Guardian Greaves, which might help him a little bit more and the team. But you can see that the one who's starting to struggle is Quinn.
Yeah. I mean, they've tried to jump on him so many times in these team fights. They know it's got to be him. Again, the Rubik and the Stream Protector, they're not going to be doing that much if they're alive. So you sort of leave them. The Necrophos, you can't bring down. He's too tanky. He's got the Ghost Shroud. He's got Death Pulse. He's got Hooded Defiance. So you focus down Quinn in these team fights. And with time dilation constantly coming off into Necrophos, you just can't keep his HP up.
Radiant's bottom tower is in danger.
The Guardian Greaves will change a lot for Quincy Crew. Of course, being able to keep people alive a little bit easier when they drop to low HP and that bottom 20% threshold would be nice as well. But these fights have been so close. Beast Coast just clutching them out, doing an excellent job here. If K1 uses time dilation when the Death Pulse was off cooldown, they would have lost all these last couple of fights. Top lane.
Going for Schofield, and they've got the easy kill.
is little hope for digest.
I'd say it doesn't matter a whole lot. Again, Schofield goes down, but while that's happening, K1's farming up with this Empower. You're happy to take that little exchange there. Lane Lella shoving out the
pushing
creepers with his death pulse. They got everyone set up.
They're going to go for this. Quinn looking over with a tornado that only hits on a Stinger.
My sprites are with us.
And now Spirit Vessel EMP with a cold snap. That EMP will go off. Stinger taking a lot of damage. The Nature's Grasp a little bit short. Not that it's going to matter. They'll still finish him off. Lois gets the kill. And he's finished off those Guardian Greaves, so... Right now, things okay for Quincy Crew. Ooh, Chris Luck getting caught in a bad spot trying to TP out. The damage is going to be enough? No.
Not quite. Right now, he don't have huge damage on this Drow Ranger, but keep in mind, he went the Hand of Midas instead. You know, he's feeling like he wants to take this a little bit later.
Are you even trying?
Well, they're not able to get onto him, and with
Radiant's top tower
War forced away,
is
Chris
under
Luck
attack.
back. Drow Ranger gets to play a little bit further forward, especially with his teammates scouting this one out for him. They line up here. They got to be careful anytime they group up, though. We talked about this. They have the Chronosphere. They have the RP. There's huge team fight potential. Yeah, they can bring down anybody with the right setup.
Smoke, Time Walk, Chrono. That's just onto the Rubik, and I think you're okay with that. Tornado comes in. He doesn't even get it off, and now he might be able to steal it. Time Dilation, though, gets used, so he won't be able to steal the Chronosphere. They've got the EMP, and now K1's out of mana! RP comes through. That's onto the Necro. K1 in trouble. They get that kill. They'll take him out. They look over the Magnus, who's forced to skewer away because he's been disarmed. Silence out onto the Tiny. Whisper comes over the Pulse Nova. He just doesn't have the damage. He's in the ice wall. He's been surrounded. He won't kill off anybody before he goes down.
Nature's foulest cloister.
Oh my god. The start of that fight was so optimistic for Beast Coast. I mean, you use Chronosphere on just the Rubik. You think you're getting a solo pick off on him. He keeps you off him. He tosses you back. He time walks away. Bottom lane, Schofield going down. And your RP, all it hit was the Necrophos. You took such good team fights previously for Beast Coast. I don't know what made them think that they could use these huge AoE abilities on just one target and think that they could walk out and win them. God, and they take advantage of this. You know, the heroes on Beast Coast being down, these huge cooldown abilities on cooldown. Oh, we're going to go into Roshan. Take this. Aegis is going to go our way. I'm not sure who they send this to. I mean, if they put it on Uar, he can play very far forward. Or sorry, Lelis, he can play very far forward. But Uar might grab it, punish them if they try to commit an RP or a Chronosphere on them.
Now the decision from Beast Coast was just we've smoked. The second our smoke breaks, we're going to time walk forward. RP, doesn't matter who.
Yeah, I mean, you hit just the Necrophos. It doesn't matter if you disable this guy out. You can't bring him down. You know that he's too tanky. It's got to be Quinn that you've been bringing down. That's what you've been doing so well in these previous fights. I mean, you could even go on Uar. I mean, all these fights have been the 4v5. Uar hasn't really been part of them. Again, he died like a couple of times in the laning phase at the start of the game to Leshrac. That's fine. But thinking that you could take these team fights without hitting like these AoE abilities on multiple heroes, I'm reiterating this. You're not winning this game right now. You're even net worth. But Quincy Crew, they have everything they need to just like rip you apart unless you're getting these big team fight ultimates on several heroes. Their draft is way more scrappy. Guardian Greaves, of course, make it even harder for them to get what they needed to win these team fights. It was that time dilation stopping this death pulse. Tons of damage coming out from this ability, tons of heal for the teammates. Now that he's got this, you know, his game is so much easier. Pause is still out, though. Necrophos has been able to stay so far ahead despite him, being part of some of these losing fights here. 10,000 to Uar, who's just been farming this whole game's 8,800. Who's ahead of K1 Hector, who, you know, despite playing this Empower Faceless Void, his teammate all the space from him, he's still sitting behind the top two heroes on Quincy Crew here.
RP not available for 26 seconds. Chronosphere not available for another 40, and you can see, knowing that, how far forward Quincy Crew are standing.
Wow.
Radiant's
Whisper
bottom
feels
tower
like
is
the world is on his shoulders. I like what he's doing now. He's going for this pipe right away. But, you know, this is your DPS guy. He's being forced to build all these defensive items. Like, yes, you normally build the Yules on the Leshrac, but you have to commit so much gold into finishing a pipe. And he's the one keeping you in this.
Interesting Daggett
Radiant's
being
bottom
built
tower
for
is under
Necro.
Oh, no.
And then Quinn's going BKB. You think we see
that makes
BKB
sense.
Ags afterwards? Or is it
Yeah.
even an Ags game for Invoker?
It's always an A's game for Invoker.
Is it?
Let's be real. Yeah. Get those extra points into each one of your attributes.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I like it.
Dire's
It's the Dagon. It's the more questionable thing. Guess he's just looking to blow somebody up before they can really be part of the fight. You know, if you can take down the Faces Void of the Magnus right away, you're laughing. But you know, it's a lot of money.
They're grouping up. Ooh, but top. Tornado finishing off Schofield. Luckily, Quinn's using that tornado, so he stays up in the air long enough for me to get the camera on him, falling down to his death.
They play a little bit further forward on your war here. He can be confident. He's got the Aegis here.
is under
Rips through this tier 2 tower. You know, they're not in position to grab him here. Faces Void still very far back in the bottom lane. While you do have RP available on Magnus, you've got Blink Dagger, Force Staff. You're all utility at this point. All bark, no bite.
Like a chihuahua.
Radiant's bottom tower is
Chihuahua
under
Luck
attack.
be his name after this series.
Or like a Yorkie. Or a Shih Tzu. Ugh,
Dire's
I
bottom
hate Shih
tower
Tzus.
is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under
I hate
attack.
small dogs.
Small dogs have that Napoleon complex going on. And it's terrible.
They do. You are? Backdoors this tier 1 tower.
Bottom tower has
It's going to take a while for the creep wave to meet over to him for him to grab this tier 2. You know, just taking all these outer towers, playing far forward. That's what you want to be doing with this Aegis. It'll take a full, 45 seconds for that to meet over there. That's only if they catch out the next creep wave as well. Yeah, here he is. He's got the multi-shot ready. This young sniper. Boom. He missed one.
Yeah, he's
There
still
we go.
got it. He's fine.
It'll take a little while for that wave to reach over there. He will still have the Aegis when it's time to push that tier 2 and the wave meets the tower. So I guess his team just plays a little bit closer to him.
Telekinesis. Avalanche comes in on EOR. They don't have telekinesis anymore, obviously just getting used on Stinger, so the control is lacking going for Stinger, but that's not their objective. They actually throw some right clicks out on a Chris Luck. They finally find the tornado, and going through the ice wall, Fade Bolt's up again, and EOR will get the kill. They can go after the tier 2 tower bottom.
Yep. Aegis still available for another minute here. You can probably hit it from up here. Yeah, there you go. Use that range you got, you are. Heroes position themselves to take a fight. Get Chronosphere.
Schofield,
RP
that's
available.
trying to clean up the creep wave. Chronosphere comes in and will go after the Rubik first. BKB's been popped. Can he even get MSS first? No, he can't. Now he's got a time walk away. Tree gets thrown to the high ground. They look for the RP. It's only out of the Necro. They pop the Aegis on EOR, but look at this. The Overgrowth comes through. The stolen RP. That stuns up the Magnus. They've got the stun from Whisper. That locks up SVG as well as Lois. They'll finally lose MSS. MSS is doing a lot in this fight, but EOR trying to get out as 4 heroes are around him. Right clicks coming in from Stinger as well as everybody else. They get the gun to EOR. They've lost Chris Luck. Lois. Reaper Scythe is down, and so is his life, potentially. They're still chasing. They've got the Pulse. Nova goes into the Ghost Shroud, surviving Death Pulse. All of a sudden, Schofield in some trouble. Layla's into the trees. SVG, he's dusted. They've got themselves in Nature's Grasp. Time walk forward, needs a bash on Alelis, finds it, stunned from Whisper, finishes him off. And Quincy Crew, what looked to be a good fight, ends up not being a good fight.
Yeah, I guess they just got separated, you know. They got on top of UR there. He has a lot of their damage. And, of course, when they're on him, he doesn't have that marksmanship aura. It's disabled within 400 range, and they work consistently in that team fight. But to 2K net worth and 4K XP going the way of Beast Coast. You know, it feels really odd when you see the Chronosphere not really getting what you want from it, as the same with the RP. The Rubik stole it, in fact, but all he RP'd was the Magnus, and he doesn't really matter. Again, this is just a utility Magnus. He's got Force Staff, Blink Dagger, Arcane Boots. He's not doing damage in this team fight. In fact, he did 885 before he went down. It was all just Faceless Void and this Leshrac. Whisper doing an amazing job at carrying BEASTCOAST here. Like, know, he's really the one factor that's keeping them in this game. Hector will be doing a good job as the game goes on, but right now, it's the Whisper game. They got to keep your war up in these team fights. So we'll see what they decide to build in order to do that. He's got the Mantis style being built up right now, but SVG, he stayed alive. He didn't feel that useful. I didn't feel the power of overgrowth in that team fight. Of course, you got one pointed leash sheet, you got living armor, but I was talking about how I didn't like Drow at the start of this draft because it was too easy for them to get on top of them. They're encouraged to do so, in fact, on Tiny, Faceless Void, and Magnus. They got RP available again, so they might look to make a play on the enemy side of the map. Have to be careful with how far forward they roam. You do have the ability to react to the enemies invading your jungle because you still have that tier 1 tower up in the mid lane. Nobody's there, though. Paladin sword now found by Lelis. He might hold on to it. I mean, he's got Yuar is a big right clicker, but you know, he might be happy holding on to this Vambrace.
You've got the Yules. Avalanche, Quinn, ooh, Tornado back. Schofield now in a very bad spot. Cold Snap comes through, and he's hit with the Spirit Vessel. They've got the EMP. How far are they going to drag into this? Reaper Sight fused, and that will kill Schofield for 76 seconds.
Is that the dive police I hear in the background coming for Schofield?
Yes,
he's out of
it
here.
is. They actually told me they were on their way right now.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
It's
Radiant structures
10 years,
are
no chance at bail. Or 70 seconds, sorry. He's a level 16, so he's tried as a minor.
Bottom tower is under attack.
There you go.
They're going to go for this, potentially. Ooh, K1 had Chrono. Now he's telekinesis. They've got him with the Spirit Vessel, who used that Manta, goes after SVG, throws the Chronosphere onto both him and Quinn. SVG ends up dead. MSS, he's got Chronosphere to steal! Oh, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. They got the kill to Chris Hook. They've got SVG coming in with the Overgrowth via War. It would have been nice if he had some damage coming their way, but with the Overgrowth and the right click damage, not enough. As he time walks in, they've gotten themselves the Gust. MSS steal in a second. The question is, what does he get? They've got a good amount of damage coming through, and now they'll finally get the stun out on Yawar. The stolen stun on a 2, so Yawar still trying to survive with the first hit bash from Hector. That gets the kill onto the Drow. MSS and SVG will get behind the tier 2 tower. Not sure that's going to matter. Did he just he dodged out with the Manta? That was so impressive from Hector. MSS doing all he can to buy some time. He's got the telekinesis. Now the stun comes out again, and eventually he will, in fact, fall.
Right now, SVG is just feeling kind of helpless in these team fights. He's doing a decent job at keeping Drow Ranger alive, but again, these heroes so good at jumping on top of Yuar here and bringing him down. Quincy crew, their options are becoming more and more limited as this game goes on. Lelis is here, ready to fight K1, but, you know, immediately, time dilation comes out. As soon as he pops that original Death Pulse, Faceless Void gets away. They don't manage to get this tier 1 tower. No extra control of the map, but fight's finally starting to go the way of Beast Coast. And you're wishing you had a hero other than Drow Ranger at the moment, aren't you?
Yeah, maybe something other than Drow would be great.
So he keeps on getting on top of Yuar here in these team fights. They're going to need a solution to this one. I'm not sure what it is. I mean, got the BKB coming out, but you know, it doesn't really fix your problems. You're losing this marksmanship. You're getting locked down by Chrono. You're going to get locked down by RP. I'm not sure what item you build on Yuar. I think you just need to tank your front line here. You need to somehow bring down this Faceless Void. Sheepstick might be the answer. He's going for Octarine Core now on Lelis, though. I think he needs some sort of way to burst down K1. You know, if he's down, I think the Drow Ranger is able to deal with some of these other heroes like Leshrac and Magnus. But with him constantly time walking on top of them, the game is super hard.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
MSS played such a good team fight right there too. I mean, he stole so many good spells. He kept the enemies off the Drow Ranger. He picked people off. It would feel criminal if he didn't win this game.
Telekinesis, Nature's Grasp, Chris Luck on the run. Oh, that's pretty big to steal, getting him power, that's for sure. Quinn needs to leave. He gets BKB off. it's not going to matter. K1 gets the kill and now looks elsewhere for somebody else. Quinn, look at where he is in terms of net worth. He is finally in front of Chris Luck, but just doesn't feel like he has enough. That gust whiffs. Time walk forward, looks over at Yawar. RP on a 2. Now they have the damage. Looks like it's Shockwave, Avalanche, MSS, and Yawar go down. This could be the game that Quincy Crew finally dropped. This feels like it might be the game that they finally drop.
You know, they do have the better draft this time around. It feels like they're just getting picked off, run at by the Drow Ranger. She's not able to do anything about it. If only there was some sort of punish for it. But, you know, you try to group everybody up on stop them from going on Drow. You get RP'd or you get chronoed. The fact that you have both these abilities to work with just feels like too much. And now, Vegas and Cheese is going to go towards Beast Coast with Drow Ranger down and Invoker down. There's nothing that they can do about this. They don't have the damage in these team fights anymore. Necrophos just isn't scaling.
Feels like up against this Void, he's not really able to accomplish much.
No, he's not. You know, you're doing great at the start of this game. You shut him down in lane, but now he's too good. His core hero is just too good at beating up your core hero. Speaking of core, Octarine core now complete on Necrophos. But that won't really increase your DPS too much. Again, you'll have faster Reaper's Scythe. You'll have faster Death Pulse. Your Guardian Gears will come off a cooldown quicker, but I don't see this being the item that changes the outcome of these team fights. And this is like a 4,900 gold item.
SVG spotting Schofield. Schofield's died 8 times, but it feels like it's of little importance. They've got the Telekinesis, Nature's Grasp, Avalanche Throne. He's very tanky. We'll see if these two supports can do it, but as I say that, they back away.
With BKB done on Hector, I mean, they don't have the hard lockdown anymore. He's able to get out of the overgrowth with both the BKB and his Manta style. Quinn, he's been forced to go this low DPS build, you know? He's got the Force Staff, Earn, BKB because the enemies are going on him, but your damage isn't coming from anywhere anymore. The only hero you have to run at right now is Yawar on this Drow Ranger. When you only have one problem and you've got these two solutions in the form of RP and Chronosphere, it's easy for you.
Mules, Telekinesis, Lelis. Just gonna run away for now. You've got SVG nearby. Does he have a Blink Dagger? No. Is he going for a Blink Dagger, you think?
SVG?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You know, it's still a very good item. If he can wait for the Faceless Void to pop his Black King Burn, his Manta, and, you know, I imagine he will. There's a lot of things he needs to dispel. Then it could just win him the team fight. He's got the Blink Dagger.
Yeah, Overgrowth into a Cataclysm could be massive damage.
Yeah. Or just being able to hit him with that Overgrowth in his BKB inside his Chronosphere. That could win him his fight as well. But you don't have to be concerned about damage anymore on Faceless Void either. I mean, you've gone for the Silver Edge, you've got BKB, you've got Paladin Sword. Like, damage is not an issue. You just need to make sure that you can continue running at this Drow Ranger, and that makes your game so easy to execute. You've got 2 minutes, 15 seconds until Roche reclaims the Aegis. Until then, Quincy Crew are fine, just kind of sitting back. They don't have the damage to bring down K1
You don't have
flight.
that option. Quinn gets spotted, RP in, and now the stun is there. He ends up dead. RP is now down, but you lose Quinn again. Meanwhile, Yule's on Alelis from the Tiny who's up in front. You're still chasing. They want to go. Shiva's.
Void approaching with his Silver Edge. They don't know that he's here. They've got to be careful. Jumps over the trees. Yeah, everybody all the way back into their base. The sudden turnaround of this game, 35 minutes in, you know, it felt basically over. Quincy Crew were dominating them, running up their side of the map, and, you know, a couple bad fights, and I feel like 2 good time dilations really cost them this game.
Hector going bottom, and I don't know how you kill Hector. He's got Aegis, he's got Backtrack.
Dire are scattered.
Yeah, they just have to wait this one out, stall for another minute, because there's no way you bring them down twice. You need to be able to get them with this Reaper Scythe, I feel. He's got the Lincoln
Kinesis on a Whisper. There's the toss and the Avalanche on MSS. Chronosphere goes to the back lines. They'll pop the Lincolns with the steal of Chronosphere, or at least attempt to steal that Chronosphere. Leech Seed on the Lotus Orb. K1 coming over. Hurricane Pike used, but there's the Manta. Right click's coming in. Still haven't secured the tier 3, and they back him off. No RP, no Chronosphere.
We'll be able to heal this tier 3 tower up with the living armor. You guys should actually back and not fake back if you don't have...
Queen comes over, Tornado! As Schofield blinks in! Avalanche hits all 5 men! Oh, on everybody! 5-man RP from Chris Lock. They get the kill on SVG. They look towards the rest. They've got the Ghost Round on MSS, but it's not going to be enough to keep them alive. And Rubik ends up dead. They'll look towards the back. They find themselves Yawar. The Avalanche tosses down to the ground. They get the kill on the Yawar, and he's got no buyback. 85 seconds without him, and that's a big problem. They go towards the rest of the team. The Shockwave hits on a 3. Looking for the overgrowth, but you get bashed off. SVG, he ends up dead again. 75 seconds, no buyback. And this is looking like the end. The RP was on all 5 of Quincy Crew's heroes, and they absolutely obliterated them.
Chris Luck just managing to sneak in through there. I can't believe nobody disabled that Blink Dagger if they were playing that close together. But with Drow Ranger dead and no buyback, there's nothing you can do. You lose 2 sets of Raxes here. We've seen how hard the game is for them already with the lanes constantly shoved in. I'm not sure there's anything Quincy Crew can do. This Drow Ranger feels completely helpless. They were forced to use Reaper Scythe while Void was in the Chronosphere to keep them alive. That's their one ability to really bring down this Void. 2 sets of Raxes down. 20k net worth up now for Beast Coast. It's looking like they're finally going to be able to take a game off of Quincy Crew. They're not invincible, B-Cops. They do bleed. Beast Coast is making them bleed.
Well, it only cost you a 5-man RP to get it done. But now no RP, no Chronosphere. They've got the Sunstrike Reaper Scythe coming in, and he doesn't die.
He's got the Lotus Orb himself. He's got the Lincoln Spear. K1, I mean, they can damage him a little bit. They're holding him down, actually. Huge lockdown here from this Rubik in the Cold Snap. They will force him to back off a little bit. Just Black King Bar available, though. You slow them down, but, you know, on the side of Beast Coast, you're happy to wait here. You get the leveler, too. This is too good. I think he might hold on to this Paladin Sword for now. His Lifesteal's doing a lot of work, but, you know, Chronosphere, 5 seconds from being done.
Backtrack, you're fine.
Reverse Polarity, 5 seconds now. You need a miracle here on Quincy Crew. There's one team who can pull it off, though. It's them. Playing very tight now. They might just wait for this next Roshan. You're by yourself right now on Hector. I mean, this is how you lose games. You have no buyback gold either. He wants to find Quinn.
Finds him, chronos him, kills him. No way out.
Yeah.
He's got buyback, though.
MSS makes his way down there, but he used far too late. You know, that is one of the big important heroes there, and RP still available. They say, okay, Invoker's dead, we'll force a buyback, we'll end the game if he doesn't have one. Start making your way down here, Chris Luck. Let's go. Time to run, it's getting late.
They're looking, right clicks from Yawar, cleaning up some creeps, trying to survive. Time walk forward. Schofield's over here in the trees as well. They've got the Gust, they'll pop the Lincolns, they'll pop the Manta. Now they've got the Telekinesis. Do they have the damage to get the kill on Hector? Gotta remember, he doesn't have enough gold for buyback at the moment. He's actually only a little bit short. They've got themselves a Skewer. They find themselves a Layless. They still have not used the RP, but they've got the Gust. They have the Silence. Do they have the damage? Chris Luck! He gets taken out for 2 minutes. Now they look over at Whisper. Look at the damage coming in from Yawar with the Alacrity. K1 comes in. They'll buy back on Chris Luck. So now he's got no buyback. You gotta understand, though, Hector, I think he's just short the gold of it. They've got the Gust. They'll get the Disarm. They'll pop the Manta once again. Time walk forward with the time dilation hanging on 3 of these heroes. Quinn's got the BKB, so he's not affected. They move forward. Schofield tossing up K1 into the air. They're back. They're stunned. And now maybe trouble for Hector. It just doesn't feel like there is anything called trouble in his life.
Now holding onto that BKB, waiting for SVG's overgrowth to come out. They were in a little bit of trouble with Chris Luck But he's smoked up on the side.
RP only hits onto the drown, but that might be enough. They've got a lot of heroes back with a skewer. They'll get the kill on MSS. The meteor goes down. It's a 5-man overgrowth. But is it enough? They will get the kill on a Chris Luck. He's dead for 2 minutes. Lelis ends up dropping the buyback on Yor. They've got the toss back on a Quinn now. They've got the avalanche coming through, but it's not going to hit on the Invoker. Stinger on the run. Lelis right on top of him. No Reaper Sight just yet. It's down for another 35 seconds. Maybe this time's outright for them. They've got themselves a stun, but it doesn't hit on anybody on the side of Quincy Crew. Disarm now, hitting the void. They've got themselves Mega Creeps. Can you even fight against Mega Creeps? Even if you win this fight, they find themselves a kill on a Schofield. He's got buyback. It's only a death for 90 seconds. And I think, just maybe, BEASTCOAST get out of here okay.
They get out. They get the Mega Creeps. They got what they came for. They did have to expend buyback on Chris Luck, though. Chronosphere should be up again in a couple of seconds. Again, they started that team fight, throwing it on the Invoker down there in the bottom lane. But this has been wild. They managed to control up the Faceless Void, but, you know, with no buildings, you just don't have the heroes to defend from Mega Creeps. You need an Aghanim Scepter on UR now. Just have it queued up, but still, 2,500 gold away.
K1 over here as Chrono.
Thrice the torment.
He's very nervous now on Quinn. He knows if he dies again here, it's game over. Almost has his Aghanim Scepter, though.
Just find Hector. I mean, again, it's just so hard to get the kill. He time walks away. Quinn comes in. Tornado EMP that will come down onto Hector. Only getting him down to about half mana, though.
No, he's not concerned. He's got the Manta style. He's got the BKB, 3k HP, 20% backtrack. It's too hard to bring this guy down.
He just
Roshan is up.
Ag's Blessing. What would an Ag's Blessing mean for Quincy Crew? I mean, that would go on to the Invoker, you'd think, so he could spend on something else. Problem is, look at your base. Look at these creeps. Just infesting.
Your town is under siege. They find the Spell Prism on Drow Ranger. They're finally able to leave the base and get these tier 4 neutral items. But, you know, as you said, base just shoved in. Invoker forced to sit back there. Enemy team will take Roshan.
Lelis.
While you do that.
He's certainly the target. And they'll use the Chrono that hits on a Lelis, but he's pretty far back. They've got the Gust out on a Chris. Like the stolen Chrono! That hits on a 3. Is it going to allow him to get out? It doesn't look like it. Lelis in some trouble. They've got the Reaper Sight. That comes through the Cataclysm! It's just not enough damage! They take a Chris up. They've lost themselves. Lelis, who Reaper Sights himself to death. That's why he's dead for 150 seconds. They get the kill out onto the Treant. He's gone for 70. In the air is Whisper. Have you ever Reaper Sight yourself to the death of the entire game? It looks like if creeps coming in, this might be the end of the game. They look over. They've got the Avalanche and the Toss coming through in the Yor. They get the kill. He's dead for 2 minutes, and then they take a look at MSS. They'll get the kill there, and Quinn is the only one alive. The creep's going into the base, and BEASTCOAST take the first game off of Quincy Crew in the entire tournament.
Showing everybody that Quincy Crew is not invincible. Some amazing plays from Whisper this game, keeping them in on this Leshrac. You know, I feel like it's the number one thing that really